All right, everyone. Actor Dustin Diamond broke the unspoken code and ultimately paid a serious price for it. Second conversation turned into this weird thing, like they were being summoned up there for some kind of who even knows what.
I'm most embarrassed about. My buddy was at my house, and the rumor, I think, that had been put on TV was that Paris Hilton had made $14 million off this sex tape. And my buddy said, 14 million, holy smokes, where's a Screech sex tape? You got to be worth at least $1 million. And I thought, yeah, maybe. And that's as simple as it was. And in my stupidity, I thought, I could totally fake this. I could get a stunt person to take my place. It's my face, but nothing else. Looking back now in my 30s, I realized that was really, I definitely got some money off of it, but it wasn't worth what the fallout was. I mean, people to this day, they look down on me. There's a lot of people who look, oh, that's, how disgusting of you, and I didn't really do it.
But in 2009, Dustin Diamond crossed a line that his former castmates would never forget. He published a tell-all memoir titled Behind the Bell, pulling back the curtain on what he claimed really went on behind the scenes of Saved by the Bell. Among the most eyebrow-raising allegations was his claim that Mark Paul Gosselaar and Tiffany Thiessen, the actors who played Zach Morris and Kelly Kapowski, were involved in a sexual relationship with the show's director.
Things that were just not used at all. There were certain things that were throwaways. I think one of the biggest was that, like I had mentioned, that Mark Paul got called up to the office a lot. They spent a lot of time up there. And it was more of like a, there was more planning. I mean, this came off the tail end of talking of, because we didn't talk for long and it was on different days. So coming off the last conversation, which had been a couple days before, which was, I believe, about us being sent out to different countries, and they sent Mark, Paul, and Tiffany out, and I was originally supposed to go out, and I didn't get sent out, so I was kind of bummed because I wanted to see, Europe and France and, all that kind of stuff. And they got sent out there, and they were called up to Peter's office a lot, which the second conversation turned into this weird sexual thing of people, they were being called up there for some sort of weird who knows what, which is not where I was going with my conversation at all. But like I said in my Oprah piece, I thought I was going to get a piece of the book to proofread and go over and cross any T's and dot any I's and correct any mistakes, put things in a certain timeline. I mean, people online were giving me flack in the book about certain paragraphs being duplicated, which has publishing responsibility all over it. I don't print the books. Right. And so it was this really massive fallout. And I was just so shocked to sit back and read this book and think, wow, this is supposed to be, my story is coming from me. And I'll tell you this, the biggest part of this is that I wanted to write a book about all the crazy things that have happened in my life.
After facing significant backlash over the memoir, the rest of the Saved by the Bell cast began publicly distancing themselves from Dustin Diamond. He was then brought onto various media outlets where, under considerable pressure, he walked back his claims, stating that the book had actually been written by a ghostwriter and that much of the content did not accurately reflect his own words or intentions.
Movie that was loosely based on a book that a ghostwriter wrote.
You didn't write the book?
No, a ghostwriter wrote it.
What did your apology to your castmates sound like? I mean, I'm just, as an outsider, curious about that. How did the conversation go?
Oddly enough, it's doing interviews like this and getting the word out there. This is my best weapon for repairing the damage that was caused by things that were done by people who took advantage of me in the situation I was in at the time.
So if they're watching right now, which some of them are, I was Mario last week. I suspect he might watch.
Right.
What would you tell them? Say it to them.
I will say, guys, I think you're fantastic. Working with you has been just one of the icons of my life. And I'm sorry that this has taken advantage of me, the book and other situations I'm sure we'll talk about here. But I'm sure that you've experienced downfalls as well in your time. And I'm still loving you guys.
But the apology did little to repair the damage. The cast largely refused to accept it. The one exception was Mario Lopez, who chose to extend some grace and remain on speaking terms with Diamond.
close.
Okay.
I'll say that much. And they'll say we weren't close because and people say, well, you worked with the guy for 5 years. He was 3 years younger than us.
Yeah.
Or maybe more. And if you remember how it was in school, if you were a senior and you hung out with a freshman,
Right.
come on,
Right.
man. You were like, what are you doing?
Right.
I never had any animosity towards him. And then his book comes out
Right.
and all this other stuff comes out. All that stuff, I was like, Dustin, oh, come on, man. That stuff is not true. And
Right.
you're creating this stuff in your head.
But the fallout from the memoir was just the beginning. After the book's release, Dustin Diamond's troubles began mounting steadily. In 2014, he was arrested following his involvement in a bar fight.
Hearing today, Dustin Diamond sat with his head down and his eyes closed. His fiancée, Amanda Schutz, seemed to be more attentive to what was being said. Their case stemmed from a Christmas stabbing at the patio bar. Surveillance video helped tell what happened. In the end, Diamond was convicted of disorderly conduct and disorderly conduct with a weapon. Schutz to disorderly conduct. He appealed to the judge, saying this will never happen again. Diamond must report back here on Sunday night to start serving a 120-day jail sentence. He can get out in the daytime for work purposes, but he will have to sleep at the jail every night. In addition, he will owe about $2,500 in court costs and restitution. Part of that.
Shortly after cycling in and out of legal trouble, Dustin Diamond's time was running out in ways no one could have anticipated. On February 1st, 2021, Dustin Diamond passed away.
Star Dustin Diamond has lost his battle to cancer. The actor was best known for his role as Screech in the 90s sitcom. According to his representative, Diamond died this morning after a 3-week fight with stage 4 lung cancer, but says he did not suffer. Diamond was hospitalized last month in Florida, and shortly after, his team revealed his cancer diagnosis.
I don't know about y'all, but to go out from lung cancer when you don't even smoke is crazy. Shortly after his death, his cast members would have something to say.
Yeah, well, he died of cancer. That hurt. With Dustin gone, we still carried it on in the name of Seva, Bill, Peter, Ingo, all of the writers and producers, and Dustin. So when we all got to celebrate him.
Just Screech.
Oh, Screech. I'm glad we got that on footage. Because he matters. Yeah.
We did like Lark. She was a really good person, and she left a voicemail for him. And we played it for him before he died, and he enjoyed it.
That was my very good friend.
The last time I saw him, I think, was in 2018.
Okay.
We were at a Comic-Con, or maybe it was a little bit later than that. But it was pretty much right before his death. And we had a booth right next to each other, and you just strike up a conversation as if we'd been buddies all along.
Let us know what you think. Did Dustin Diamond go too far by exposing Hollywood secrets, or was his fate simply inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.